And good day, everyone. Cheers to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope everybody's feeling good on this Monday morning. Hope you're hopping and popping and bopping and all the appropriate and related things like that. And also, there's Creative Tony looking all kind of it's breaking off dance moves on a Monday. That's a good way to get the week started. Creative Tony, how's your head? How you doing, buddy?
Well, remember, like, get your yayas out, right? Stones. I'm getting my yayas out, dude, because I gotta like.
All right, no. We got plenty of time. Take your time. Take a deep breath. I see the frustration. Yeah.
Is that Sanka in your cup, by the way? I have to ask.
This is the real deal. Highly caffeinated beverage and Paulie Max. For me, I would never waste my time with Sanka unless it was like strict doctor's orders. Like if a doctor told me, all right, Paulie Mac, you take 3 more sips of caffeine, your heart's going to explode. Until I get to that point, I'm going real deal, unfiltered, highly potent brew every day. I can't have a Sanka, Tony. That's just
does Sanka still even exist, by the way? And second of all, I don't know.
It's a good question.
You're looking rather dapper today, dude. I feel like I need to step up my game. Maybe sport a collar tomorrow. Maybe put a collar on, dude.
You know what's so funny about my outfit today? And I spend a lot of time picking out these outfits very carefully. For starters, I decided to go with the very elegant retro Aerosmith T-shirt. Circuit, get your wings. And then, Tony, now you should recognize the denim, brother. You should recognize the denim. Creative Tony and I, of all things, is a true story. Summer of 2023. Don't ask me how it happened, but it happened. The Levi's store in downtown San Francisco on Market Street opened their doors to Creative Tony and I because we were promoting the Levi's Summer Concert Series at Oracle Park. We had a great time. Shout out Freestone Peaches, Super Diamond, had a lot of great bands come up. And Creative Tony and I did our best, kind of Bill Graham impersonation. We were emceeing those events and introing the bands and stuff. And as a perk to go with that Summer Concert Series sponsored by Levi's, they said, boys, come on in and pick out Tony, about $1,000 worth of clothing each. It was insane. Great. And you know what's crazy? Hand to God, I swear on my kids, that was 2 summers ago. This is the first time I've ever worn this shirt ever.
Nice.
And, yeah. So my point is, I have so much stuff from Levi's. I haven't even worn everything yet. So anyway, I figured today would be a day to break out the blues. Because shout out ZZ Top, Blue Jean Blues. That's kind of what I'm working with today, Blue Jean Blues. Before we go any further, Creative Tony, we got to shout out our good friends at Longbridge Pizza in San Francisco, the laid-back vibe and the serious bit. Thank you, Creative Tony. Please do clap along. And clap along at home if you haven't gone in yet. You'll be clapping. And visit longbridgepizza.com. Check out the extensive menu. See what they're doing over there with the sourdough crust. Creative Tony and I have already cemented our plans to double back in double time to San Francisco on Wednesday. And Creative Tony, you know why I want to go Wednesday? It's Chicken Parmesan Sandwich Wednesday. You're not going to keep me out of Longbridge Pizza when it's Chicken Parm Wednesday. In fact, from now on, when you say Paulie Mac, I'd like you to say Longbridge Pizza Chicken Parm Sangy on the back end, because from now on, you can't have one without the other. Creative Tony, what are you looking forward to at Longbridge on Wednesday? I already told you my game plan.
Well, first of all, you know how we say PMP, hashtag PMP, you know me?
Hell yeah.
That could be for Paulie Max Parmesan, right?
That's PMP. Not bad, dude. That's not bad. Yeah. Paulie Max Parmesan.
Dude, yes. Longbridge Pizza, they were firing up some wings yesterday for the football games, the Championship Sunday wings. They're doing great on their social media. Follow them on Instagram, Longbridge Pizza, at Longbridge Pizza. But yeah, dude, their pizzas, I like the pan pizzas, dude, the square pizzas that they do on Thursdays, man.
I do too.
Shout out Neil Denaldi, who had us taste one of those last week. My goodness, man, because it's you got the burnt, like crispy cheese on the edges, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
And by the way, Dubs play tomorrow night. I think they're hosting the Jazz tomorrow night.
Correct.
We don't need to get into Dubs Lakers over the weekend because we got too much football to talk about.
We do. Yeah.
But if you're going to the Dubs Jazz game, get your pregame, get your postgame on at Longbridge Pizza. If you're coming from the peninsula, get on Caltrain, get off on 22nd Street. It's a short walk, and get and great beer selection too. And if you're not going to the Dubs game, you just want to hang and watch the Dubs game, watch it at Longbridge Pizza.
Well, I couldn't say it any better myself, Tony. So thank you very much. And everybody, get on down to Longbridge Pizza. Say what's up to Neil. These guys are great. They're going to treat you like family. And the most important thing about Longbridge Pizza is their food is killer. I told you this the other day.
Really good.
I would, and I'm not kidding about this, Tony. I would never risk my good reputation by endorsing pizza that wasn't top notch. Longbridge Pizza is top notch. I put my name on it and I vouch for it. So I'll see you there on Wednesday, everybody. Enjoy Longbridge Pizza and check them out at longbridgepizza.com. All right, great.
Heck yeah.
Listen, the preamble has gone on enough. We've set the table. Let's dive into it now. The championship games, the conference championships are in the books over in the NFC. The first game was a huge disappointment.
Huge.
Win 55-23. And I think what you saw there, Tony, is just a young team on that stage for the first time. And they kind of self-destructed in a lot of ways.
Yes.
The 4 turnovers. And on the other side of the ball, you got a team in Philly with a great defense, a very determined offensive group with Jalen Hurts and led by Saquon Barkley, obviously with the 3 touchdowns, dude. Marched, what do you have, 118 yards rushing. So Saquon did his thing. Over in the AFC, this is a game I have a sneaky feeling we'll be kind of talking about this more than anything else today. The AFC Championship's now in the books, and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to their 3rd consecutive Super Bowl. They win 32-29. What can you say about the game? Let's just talk about it in a broad sense first.
I want to get into the Washington game first, dude. And by the way, what's up, all you commenters? Shout out to all of you checking in. I love it.
I do too. Thank you guys.
Everybody had a great weekend.
Yeah.
Dude, the game was 14-12, Philly, right, in the second quarter. And I'm thinking, we've got a ball game. Washington gagged so hard, dude. Those fumbles, man, 3 fumbles. You can't fumble the ball away in Philly in the NFC Championship, okay? You just cannot do that.
No, you can't. You can't.
And the game got away from them, dude. I mean, it's like you got to tip your cap to Philly. Saquon, first possession, gone for a TD. It's like, okay.
That set the tone. Okay. That's like, here's what we're bringing today. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, and it just got to the point where, you know, the game was over early. And it was just, but that fumble on the kickoff, dude, that was the crusher.
Yeah. It was, go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
The first fumble was a crusher too. And I just wish that they would have held on to the football, because I think it would have been a different game. Philly probably still wins the game, but I just think it's a different game if they hang on to the football. You cannot turn the ball over 3 times in Philly. And
no, you really can't. And at the same time, again, I think it was kind of a collection of the worst circumstances for Washington. Again, like young quarterback, never played on that. And by no means am I pinning blame on Jaden Daniels. He's going to be back. He'll be back on that stage. I guarantee it.
Yep.
This kid's just getting started.
Totally.
They have a good thing. They have a really good thing going in DC. But, the thing is, it was all self-inflicted. It wasn't like Philly. These were kind of unforced errors, I felt like, a lot of the times on behalf of the Commanders. They were shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over again. And you simply, like you said, in simple terms, you can't do that when you're a road team with a rookie quarterback in an NFC title game in a place like Philly. It's a recipe for disaster, and that's exactly what it turned into. And credit Tony, I was holding out hope through much of the game that the Commanders would at least cover, because I had that 6 points in the hot and sour, and then it just simply got away from them, and it got ugly in the second half.
At 14-12, I was feeling good.
I was too. I was like, hey, a lot of football left. Yeah.
A lot of football left, and neither team was really stopping each other. Like that first drive that Washington did, they marched down the field. They only got 3 out of the drive, but they still marched down the field. It took like 17 or 18 plays. It was sweet. I'm like,
that was a great drive. That was a great drive.
And
yeah.
Can I just get John Joseph involved immediately? Dude, I've had it. I've had it.
I know, man.
I'm sorry, John Joseph, right here with the tush push. I've had it, dude. Not just Philly, but it's taking over football. It's ruining football. It's a lazy play. It's not football. It's just, hey, let's push somebody through the line of scrimmage.
Let's pause. Dude, Can I get you to pause real quick? Because this is a good place to go a little bit deeper into this. So you're talking about the tush push. Dude, I've had it on tush push too. I'm burnt out on it. And by the way, did you see how the Washington defenders, they started to short circuit with that same guy getting flagged on consecutive snaps, jumping over the pile. I've never heard a referee say this on a football field in my life. If this continues, we're going to award the Eagles points. I was like, what? Right. I've never heard of that. Have you ever heard that? I've never heard those words spoken. If you guys, it's like some angry parents on a Friday night yelling at his kids, you guys keep this up, no TV. And it was like the ref, like, if you guys keep this up, I'm going to award Philly points. I was shocked. I've never heard of
I will have to send you to your room if you keep this up.
Yeah, no Nintendo either. No game box, no nothing. Game box, I'm making shit up. I don't even know if that's a thing, but
No, Commanders, you're grounded. You're grounded if this keeps up. I mean, like, dude,
I'll tell you the truth, man. Listen, speaking to the tush push, I just felt like it's frustrating to watch it over and over and over.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the more frustrating thing is nobody can stop it. Although I got to shout out Washington Commander defense. They did stop it twice yesterday. They were successful kind of stifling that thing twice. Now, what I wanted to pause you on, Tony, is if you look at the AFC, the Buffalo Bills, I guess you could say they tried their version of the tush push a couple times. Yeah, Josh Allen like trying to go left, and KC was ready for that defensively on the left side of the line, and it wasn't successful. Now, we can argue about the calls for sure, but I want to say my point is, why do you think that Philadelphia is the only team that can execute it as decisively as they do time and time again? Where you see other teams try to do it, it doesn't always work, hence the Buffalo Bills yesterday.
Well, they talked about this in the game. Jim Nantz said that in the production meetings, they said that the KC revealed that they knew that Josh Allen likes to go to his left when they do the tush push.
Yeah, they were ready.
Allen also takes a step back and then does
which is odd. I'm not sure why he does that. Yeah, it's
Agreed.
a weird. Yeah,
he's a big dude, just like Hurts is a big dude. Just lunge yourself in. But James Cook was having a hell of a game.
Oh my God, that was a secret weapon. I know.
Hand him the football.
Yeah,
hand him the football.
I know.
I know. Especially on that 2-point conversion when Josh Allen, they got stuff, and then Allen tried to like lateral it back.
That was ugly. That was a broken play. That was ugly, and he's flinging the ball around like that. That was desperation, and I didn't like that.
Correct.
In fact, I didn't like them going for 2 after their first touchdown. I would have gone for the point. Just give me the single point. I'll kick the point after. You knew it was going to be a shootout. But I want to go back to that, Tony. So
yeah.
First of all, the spots, like there was a 4th down play when they tried another kind of Buffalo push. I think Josh Allen clearly got the first down. When they pushed him forward, he was on the line of scrimmage. He broke the plane of that line of the first down marker. They didn't get the call. So again, the refs, I will just say it like this. Now the calls were pretty even. Buffalo had 6 penalties. Kansas City had 5. So even
in numbers, the calls were even in numbers. But as far as magnitude,
yeah,
completely different, dude. And I got to preface everything I say today, Paulie. I have to tip my cap to the Chiefs because their defense, rose up when they had to.
They did. They played well. Yeah.
Spagnuolo called a great game again. But I just. If there's so many question marks, dude.
Go ahead. That's why we're here. No, let it fly, man.
It's kind of like I know that I'm bald, and when I go outside, the sun is going to be shining, and I have to cover my head. Right?
Fair enough. Right.
It's like a guarantee.
Something you got to take into consideration when you leave the house. Yeah.
I have to always have a hat on my person.
Right.
I just know because I don't want to get sunburned.
Tony, if you forgot your hat in the back seat, would a bandana suffice? I'm just asking.
Yes, a bandana would suffice. Yes. If I'm doing all that, so that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
It's a guarantee that Spagnuolo is going to be calling blitzes a ton.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was a guarantee on that 4th down that Spags was going to blitz on that play. I just cannot believe the Buffalo Bills were not more prepared for the blitz than they were last night. And also, you want to go back to that that 4th down play where Allen did break the plane of the first down.
It certainly looked like that to me. I don't know. My eye told me that he broke the plane of the first down marker.
Dude,
yeah.
The Bills got a first down on the 3rd down.
Yeah.
To the pass to the tight end, and the ball was marked short.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the Bills didn't ask for challenge the spot on a couple of different plays. Why not challenge the spot?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, these are good questions. These are good questions. But do you feel like sitting here today with the night to digest this whole thing? Because the game, it was one of these situations, and I do this a lot. I don't know what my problem is, but like when I'm watching a football game, when I'm like emotionally invested, 99% of the time, these are 49er games. And even after tough Niner losses, bro, I'll sit there like a mental patient, like a jackass, and just watch the replays over and over. I'll watch NFL Game Day Final on NFL Network. Then I go over to Sports Center and see what Van Pelt has for me because I'll keep watching it over and over. So after a night of reviewing all the evidence and watching the highlights and then watching the morning shows today and listening to everybody kind of pine over this game, do you feel like the refs, let me ask you, let me rephrase the question. Do you think the Chiefs would have won this game if it were not for some of those calls, be it a spot call, like you said, be it a phantom? We haven't even talked about the ball that was ruled a catch that clearly hit the ground down by the end. So that's my question. Do you feel like if the refs didn't make those calls, would the Chiefs have still won the game? Tony, go.
I don't know. And again, I have to tip my cap because the Chiefs, especially their first drive of the game, they looked so good. The play calling was so good. The execution was so good. I'm like, damn, the Chiefs came prepared. Whereas the Buffalo Bills, 3 and out in the first possession.
That was ugly. Yeah.
Ugly possession.
Yeah.
The Bills looked like they did not look like the Bills that had played throughout the regular season. Right.
It's a really hard spot to be in when there's that kind of pressure. The pressure that was on the Buffalo Bills was enormous. And to be fair, the Chiefs had a ton of pressure on them too to be this first three-peat team. Don't even get me going on that, bro.
By the way, they're already like anointing them with the three-peat. If I'm the Eagles, or an Eagles fan, I'm just laughing my ass off because they're already saying three-peat this, three-peat.
I know. That's the whole. That's going to be, to use one of my least favorite words of all time. That's going to be the narrative for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be all about Mahomes three-peating and how the Chiefs are the greatest team to ever walk on planet Earth. I would dispute that all damn day.
Paulie, I got to do John Joseph. Yes, when I go, yes, Kangol all damn day. I've got a few Kangles. Absolutely, John. That's yes.
While we're talking about my dome. You got to protect your dome. And while we're talking about headgear, headwear, head choices, things like that, I got to throw out like maybe my greatest secret weapon maneuver of all time. When I was doing Grateful Dead summer shows, Tony, and I would recommend you try this and all our friends at home try this. And it's not, I'm not a rocket scientist, clearly. This is not high tech, but it does work. So I saw a lot of Grateful Dead shows in the summertime on the East Coast, hotter than hell, humid as hell. So how do you stay cool? Here was my technique back in the day, and this would be great for you. You take a bandana, right? And then you stuff it at the bottom of your cooler filled with ice.
Yeah.
Then when it's time to walk into the show, you extract said bandana. You tie that bad boy to your head, and what happens now is you basically got like an ice headband on your head, keeping you nice and cool at your RFKs, Tony, at your giant stadiums in July when it's
like. Are you going bandana like a headband or bandana coverage?
Either way, the choice is yours entirely.
Okay.
Whatever kind of relief you're looking for, but that ice cold headband saved me from a lot of summer shows. I'm just throwing it out there for some advice, Tony. Yes,
I love it, and not to get too far down to this hat rabbit hole.
Fair enough.
Headgear rabbit hole.
Yeah, man.
After watching the Jumanji remake with my kids, there was a safari hat that I noticed on that. And shout out my buddy Buckethead Mark, who had one. And I said, "Where'd you get this?" And he said he ordered it online. So now I got. When I go to shows, now I have one. So when I go to shows, I know it's going to be outside daytime. I'm rocking the safari lid, buddy.
Dude, and help me on the comment line too, Tony, if you can't come up with this. When Mike Singletary was coaching the Niners, who was that defensive coordinator he had? That old dude who wore that big floppy hat. What was that guy's name? Help me out on the comments line, dude. We used to riff on the hat. Do you remember the guy I'm talking about? It was one of Singletary's dudes. He appointed to the defensive coordinator position, and he always was on the practice field with like this kind of a safari hat, big floppy thing.
I gotta shout out safari hats. I gotta shout out bucket hats because they do cover Jimmy Ray, dude. There it is.
Thank you, PCD 8509. That's why I keep you guys around, man. You guys have all the answers that I don't. And by the way, Creative Tony, I would like to make my daily plea to all our good friends on the comment line. If you could find it within the good graces of your heart to subscribe to Paulie Mack's Political Show, that would help us a great deal. So please do subscribe and tell your friends. Naomi checking in too. I couldn't help but notice. She goes, "I'm not even watching the Super Bowl this year. F everybody."
Ooh,
and I'm hearing a lot of that. I'm hearing a lot of that, bro. Like, I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl this year. I'm going to go to the movies. I'm going to go for a hike. I'm going to go to like some gourmet dinner. Anything but having to watch the Chiefs and the Eagles. Tony, am I wrong when I say these might be the most despised teams in each conference? Am I wrong on that?
They're the most despised, but they're also probably the two best teams, which sucks too. Like, that's why, like, I'm trying to take the high road and tip my cap, and it's really difficult, man, because the Sirianni factor. Like, did you see him in the
Sirianni factor? It's a big factor too. I know.
Yeah, and then I just they're already anointing the Chiefs as winning the three-peat, and it's like, stop it.
I wouldn't be so fast on that personally.
Right.
I wouldn't be so fast. Don't think Philly's not going to show up for this game. And Philly's in the same exact position the Niners were in last year, in that Chiefs have already beaten them once. This is their chance to go back and punch them in the nose, knock their asses out, and take a Super Bowl for yourself. So they're in the exact same spot the Niners were in last year. And I think if you looking past this Philadelphia Eagle team would be a big, big mistake. But you're right, dude. It's hard. It's so freaking hard because there's no way in hell or God's green earth. Take your choice. Where you're going
Right.
to find a scenario where I'm rooting for the Muppet and Andy
No.
Reid and Fumble
No.
Rooski. That ain't happening. It's just not going to happen.
No.
So now my
No.
only other choice is I got to go to Philly, but we'll talk about that later. Loyalties and who we're rooting
Yeah,
for.
yeah, dude. We got 2 weeks to talk about that
2 weeks.
freaking
And
thing.
I want to go back to what you said, dude. James Cook.
Yeah, dude.
Couple things. If I'm Philly, I'm saying Saquon Barkley's starting to drool because you can clearly run the football on this Kansas City defense. They can be had on the ground. And James Cook had himself a hell of a day. And I am with you, Tony. I would have fed that beast more. There was a lot of plays where I would have ran the ball down the Kansas City Chiefs, the throat of their defense, because they showed throughout the afternoon they were having a tough time stopping the run, T.
Dude, look at this, by the way. I want to give John some love here, too, on the comment line. Andy Reid was a football coach at SF State, Gator himself. So shout out SF State, number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, I've never disliked Andy Reid. It's just the Pat Mahomes factor. I can't get over the Mahomes factor. And I can't get over they just have this magical fairy dust wherever they go, where things just kind of shake out for them. Yes, they're a good team. Yes, they have good, they execute well. They have good game plans, all that.
I'm with you. Yep.
But then they also dude, that 4th and 1, that was a first down for Josh Allen.
Hold on, time out. Let's talk about it. Which play are we talking about right now? Because we're
talking about the fourth quarter. I'm talking about the fourth quarter when they went for it on 4th and 1, and Josh Allen. And they had 2 line judges coming up with 2 different spots.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the guy who's further away from the he's on the further hash side. He's coming in with a worse spot than the guy who's closer to the play.
Yeah.
And it's I saw a great tweet today earlier, and I forget who did it. It was somebody, maybe Dan Orlovsky or somebody in the football industry saying, here we are in 2025, and we're still using 2 poles and a chain to mark first downs, and we're still using.
I saw that too. Yeah. We're sending rockets to Mars. We're about to colonize on Saturn, and we're still using a chain gang. What are we doing down here? Yeah, it's a good.
Dude, and by the way, I've said this earlier in our show, last week, about my desire for them to do a delay of game horn or buzzer.
Yeah.
Because did you see?
I saw it, the 2-minute warning. Yeah, they should have gotten a delay of game right there. The Chiefs. That's
Mahomes is walking off the field.
I know. No timeout signal, no nothing. And that play clock expired before the 2-minute warning hit. And nobody even mentioned it. Nobody even said anything.
Right. If there's a horn and a light that go off as soon as the clock hits 0, that is delay of game. I just don't understand why we can't put that in every stadium in the NFL. And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, dude.
And for a multi-billion-dollar machine like the NFL that prides themselves on getting the calls right, we've taken extreme measures through replay. Guess what, dude? This was right out here in broad daylight, like the Point Break guys robbing banks in broad daylight. Same kind of crime being committed. Nobody said a word. I didn't hear Tony Romo say anything, and I was like,
nope.
He just walked off the field. The play clock just expired. This guy's walking around. And again, no communication with the ref, no timeout signal to kill that play clock so they wouldn't get penalized. But like you said, it always shakes out for the Chiefs. There's no repercussions for them. They kind of bend the rules of the game as they wish, dude, and they're granted permission to do so.
Look at you see Rising Wolf here on the comment line. Never forget, the trophy is named after the owners of the Chiefs, the Lamar Hunt Trophy. Yes, that is a very good point. Don't ever forget that, right? And Paulie, the why have replay if you're not going to use it and have it determine plays for you? Right. That play, it was 3rd and 5.
Yeah,
with when Mahomes chucked it down the field. Yeah, 3rd and 5 on their own. I think I'm not their own, on Buffalo's 33-yard line. I think it was. And Mahomes chucks it downfield. We all saw the play. That ball is either incomplete or it's an interception for Buffalo. The last thing it should have been was a reception for Xavier Worthy and the Chiefs on the 3-yard line.
You're going to have a real tough time proving to me that he had possession of the football when you see the nose of the ball is clearly buried in the turf. It's like the only reason he was able to hold on to the ball is because he used the turf for leverage so it wouldn't squirt out. But the nose of the ball was on the freaking ground.
Nobody had possession. Nobody, neither team had possession. So to give either team possession is a farce, dude. And Gene Steratore, who's in the booth with Romo and Jim Nance,
he was on the spot. They're like, "Yeah, what do you think, Gene? What's going on down there?"
And he's like, "I don't see possession."
He
And it's
actually
like,
said that. He said he didn't like
yeah.
the call. Yeah, yeah.
And he also didn't like the face mask call on Elam. By the way, Benford leaving the game in the first quarter
That
with a
hurt him.
concussion.
That hurt him big time.
That was a big loss, man, because they just picked apart Elam the rest of the game.
And it
I
looked
mean,
like a pretty serious concussion too. Like he was having a hard
yeah,
time keeping his feet under him. I hate seeing that, man.
me too. Me
And
too.
yeah.
Me too. I just can't stand it either, man. I feel for that guy. I hope he's okay. I hope everything works out for him. But so there's that whole play. They give it to the Chiefs, and I've gotten so cynical now where I'm just like, oh yeah, well,
I
of course
know.
they're going to give it to the Chiefs.
And that's a problem. That really is a problem for the NFL now, that you've got a large percentage of your customer base who's starting to wonder if your product isn't just BS. Like, is your product even legit? Is this real? Or is this being manufactured to suit like some narrative that the NFL would like to see come to life? Here's a question I want to bounce off you, Tony, because I do want to talk about the Bills and Josh Allen. And, Holland's out there making big plays. You talked about James Cook. He was awesome yesterday. I don't feel like the Bills did anything worthy of really criticizing. In other words, like, I don't know, like Josh Allen played a great game. He really did. The only thing I guess he didn't do is tuck it in and run for a touchdown, which he's been doing all season long. Now, he didn't have any rushing touchdowns yesterday,
right,
but he did throw for a couple, and they were really nice. And I felt like Josh Allen was in a perfect position for the Bills you really can't ask for anything more than that, right? It's the end of the fourth quarter. Your team has the ball, and Josh Allen has the football in his hands.
It was weird in the first quarter, though. He seemed off, man. The first possession, he threw two balls that almost were picked.
But that's okay. Like, that's the beginning of the game. Yeah, that's nerves.
Yeah, but you're taking away that's why the coin flip is so huge at the beginning of the game, because you and I are both big defer heads to the second half, right?
Yes, I am.
And so the only advantage the Bills have that's out of their control is getting the ball first, and that's what you're going to do with your first possession. Is that? I mean, it was ugly, dude. And then you gave the ball right to the Chiefs, and then the Chiefs do a 90-yard drive, march down 90 yards for a touchdown. I'm like, oh, dude. I mean, Bills better wake up, man, because that was not a good start to this game. Now, granted, they did, but it seemed like it took Josh Allen and the Bills, and I know it's a crazy loud environment, and I know it's just it's emotions are running high. I get it. I felt like I don't know, they weren't playing scared, but they were definitely, it seemed like
they might have been tight. They might have been a little tight at the beginning of the game, but I do feel like they also settled into the game as the fourth quarter kind of progressed. Now, here's another question about, because I feel like there's a whole, they were saying on ESPN today on First Take, I was watching Stephen A. and Orlowski and all those guys, Sharp, and they were starting to put Patrick Mahomes in a place similar to Michael Jordan, where when you talk about like the Michael Jordan era of the NBA, and this is a real thing. I saw the whole thing happen. Like because of Michael Jordan specifically, guys like Karl Malone, John Stockton, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, like you could just Dominique Wilkins. There's a list of Hall of Fame guys that never got a title. One could argue because Michael Jordan was standing in the way of that. And I think that's a real thing. That's a real argument. Do you feel, Tony, that Mahomes is becoming that kind of present in the NFL, where you look around at a Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow, a Lamar, some of these other premier quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, maybe if his team gets better, like it is the reason those guys can't get their rings is because Mahomes is in the way? Do you view the AFC like that?
Kinda. I mean, JJ Watt was talking about it last night after the game, saying the same thing, that they feel so bad for the Bills because they're just happen to be playing during this Mahomes Chiefs run. And I got to tip my cap. They played a really good game, and the defense they did. The defense stepped up when they had to. But dude, it's so unfortunate to have these plays that went to review. Dude, they weren't just called on the field. They were literally reviewed, and everybody is seeing it with their naked eyes. I saw some great tweets today. We can go to bookmarks later on in the show.
Yeah.
Of people saying, okay, I did this in 10 seconds. I drew a line across my screen and I see Josh Allen across the line. How are they not seeing this in the replay booth?
I don't know. Or maybe
like,
they are seeing it. Maybe they do see it and they want to have their own ending instead. Yeah, I don't know.
And I have to mention again too. Where is Dom's? I'm going to bring Dom up here from the comment line.
Dom's on fire today, by the way. Dom had a comment earlier today. I didn't have time to get to it, but it said Taylor Swift is finishing the final touches of her new record. It's called Three-Peat. Great call, Dom. Probably is going to happen next year. The Ballad of Three-Peat. Here it comes.
And enough of that. Like, I mean, anyways. By the way, Kelsey got away with a couple of holdings. By the way,
that's fine. Kelsey also got away with the taunting. He also got away with the taunting when Mahomes had the rushing touchdown. Yep. And God forbid he got tackled. Somebody actually made contact with the almighty Muppet. Kelsey came running over, stuck his face right in the defender's face, and basically taunted him right in front of the blanking ref. No flag. None.
So I want to get to Dom's comment in a second, but Paulie, that literally the last 3 minutes.
You feel me on that, by the way? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm going to get to that. The last 3 minutes of the first half.
Yeah.
The last 3 minutes of the first half were basically a roll out the red carpet for the Chiefs here, because it was the 3rd and 5 that should have been an incomplete pass or an interception by the Bills that goes to replay, right?
Yeah.
Dude, how about the fact that the refs didn't even see McDermott throw the replay flag and they let a whole play go. Yeah. And then McDermott's like, yo, dude, I threw the replay flag before last play. Yeah. And the ref's like, okay, hold on. We're going to go. I guess we should review it then.
Yeah, I guess maybe we'll go look at this one. Yeah, right.
And then after that is when Mahomes walks off the field with the delay of game right before the 2-minute warning. And then after that is the Kelsey getting in the face of the Bills, and then the flop by Kelsey. It wasn't Mahomes. Can we credit Mahomes? He didn't flop this week.
He didn't. He finally cleaned up his act a little bit. Yeah.
But Kelsey flopped.
Yeah.
So and then they throw the flag on the Bills. If anything, it should have been flags on both teams. They offsetting.
But no, let's just go play football. Right.
I got it. Paulie also, because I'm a sick, twisted bastard that I rewatched the game.
Whoa, where on the NFL Network replay thing?
No, I recorded it at home.
Wow,
and just
you are a sick bastard, but I love that about you. That's great. Go ahead. What did you find in your
I gotta credit the right tackle, Juwan Taylor of the Chiefs.
He tightened up his act too.
He did. Tightened up his act, dude.
Yeah.
And he was doing a hell of a lot more 3-point stances than, because usually he's up with his hands up like this, ready to go.
Well,
I feel like somebody I feel
the narrative, I think the whole country, I mean, it was almost as if somebody sent a tweet out and got 2.8 million views. Yeah. That might have affected the landscape. It was almost as if something like that happened. I'm not quite sure.
Right.
Shout out to the Paulie Mac Particle tweet 2 weeks ago. We got 2.8 million views on that thing. And I like to think maybe we changed the currents just a tiny bit. But, back to the end result of this game. Do you feel like the refs just because I actually, believe it or not, Tony,
we didn't even talk about the punt return. We didn't even talk about the punt return. What was that? That was in the second quarter with a little under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Bills punt the ball. The Chiefs guy, he was a rookie. He was on the practice squad. He went to Fresno State. I forget his name. I'm blinking on his name, but I know he's a Fresno State Bulldog. Shout out Bulldogs. But punt returns it back to the Buffalo 33. Dude, there was at least 2 or 3 blocks in the back, at least 2 or 3 holds. Again, I can't complain about that as much because I know that that happens all game, all over the place.
Yeah.
But still, man, just these pivotal no calls.
Well,
the calls that go to review, it's just.
I think we've all been kind of. I'm kind of numb at this point after watching 5 seasons of Mahomes drop back. And by the way, is Mahomes ever going to line up under center? You ever want to be a real quarterback and get under center? Or are you just going to stand back there and shotgun every single damn snap? Because that's like they never gets under center, ever. How about playing the actual position once in a while for a goof?
Right.
I don't. The thing is that bugs me, Tony, is the holding that goes on every time Mahomes drops back. It's egregious. Like guys on the edge are held literally. It's like what we've seen with Bosa, and it was going on yesterday, and it's gotten so blatant and so consistent and never ending that nobody even mentions it. It's like the holds that are going on. Guys get dragged to the ground while they're trying to block from Mahomes, defenders, pass rushers, and there's never a flight. So that drives me crazy.
It's crazy. Look at the Chiefs and that ball that Mahomes threw up for grabs to Tyreek Hill against the Niners in the Super Bowl, and they come down. Tyreek Hill comes down with it while Bosa's getting bear hugged. Right. Then this
bear
week,
hugged. Bear hugged. Yeah.
Then then yesterday,
Yeah.
Mahomes throws it up for grabs and it goes to review and they give the call to the Chiefs. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I'm saying. It's like they have this magical fairy dust that I'm not going to call it particles, dude. I refuse to call it particles because it's not.
No,
I'm not going to call it that.
No, it's not part. It's more of a conspiracy than anything else.
Right.
And I will say this: like, people keep saying, "Oh, the Patriots." No, I don't believe the Patriots got this kind of preferential treatment. I really don't.
Think so.
Again,
I think Brady got some. I think he got some, and he got protected by the refs. And he was in the refs' face a lot, barking a lot.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, no, he was, but I don't.
This.
No, and they did. They actually were penalized, though. The Patriots had to serve suspensions. They had Spygate. They had Deflategate. They had all these, controversy. Yeah, Spygate. But I just feel like the Chiefs can do no wrong. Now, has your perception of Josh Allen, changed in any way? Like, do you look at Josh Allen and say, yeah, like, good quarterback, but he can't win the big one? He clearly can't beat Mahomes. Mahomes is 4-0 now against the Bills.
Josh Allen. Yeah, Josh Allen doesn't play defense, dude. And the Bills defense gave up, the Bills defense did not look good on a few entire drives. And I know Mahomes is really tough to play. By the way, did it also feel like when Mahomes would start running that there were like these guys were almost afraid to tackle him?
No question. Oh,
right?
That's a real thing. Guys don't know what to do. They don't know what to do when he's running around. Like, because they know if they get too close, they're going to get a flag. And God forbid you actually hit him. Mm-hmm. That's not going to end well for your defense.
By the way, I'm noticing something, Paulie. Shout out to all of our commenters and everybody watching online. Is Rags okay? Because I know Rags usually joins us, and I don't see him on the comment line. And I know the Eagles won yesterday, so I'm wondering if Rags went into a deep, dark depression. Maybe we should do a wellness check on Rags after the show today.
We will. I'll circle back on Rags. No, I know he's around. I was talking to him a lot yesterday. He was furious during the game. I don't even want to repeat some of the stuff he was saying. I can't. I really can't. They would cancel me. I'd be done. They'd snuff this show out in a second if I just quoted some of the things Rags was saying. And Naomi, I 100% agree with you. The Montana Mahomes comparison is it's nonsensical. I don't even think there is a comparison. Mahomes is not in the same galaxy as Joe Montana.
Okay.
He's just not. I'm sorry.
You want to do it? Put Mahomes back in Montana's era and where they weren't protecting the quarterback.
LT, go get him. Go get him. Yeah.
Seriously. Everybody go get. I mean, they would tear his head off.
Reggie White, you know what I mean? I'm talking about Reggie White. I'm talking about Lawrence Taylor. I'm talking about Mike Singletary. I'm talking about Ronnie Lott. You think if Ronnie Lott saw Mahomes out there doing his little song and dance in the open field with the ball, Ronnie would have come up and he would have laid his ass out, period, end of story. The game's not really played that way. But I want to go back to the thing. So you're saying no, and I agree with you. My perception of Josh Allen has not changed at all. I think it's unfortunate that they're unable to get over the hump. The only guy, I guess, that sort of kind of has Mahomes' number in the AFC is Burrow. It's Joe Burrow. He's been the only guy that's
frosted tips.
Well, maybe that had something to do with it, or maybe that had something to do why they're not in the postseason this year. I'm not sure.
The frosted tips, dude.
But in any case, it is unfortunate until somebody beats the Chiefs. It's hard to argue.
Dude, cue up the Bryan Adams, dude. I need somebody
like you. Everybody needs. Yeah. Don't get me going. Don't get me going.
What's Bryan Adams' nickname again? You call him something.
Oh, the Canadian Springsteen. Yeah, the Canadian Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, he's like the working man's rocker out of Canada, which might be the 50. Yeah.
Totally.
But no, I'll defend Adams every day, and that's Brian with a Y, by the way. BRY.
That is Brian with a Y. And Paulie, real quick, I
right.
put up Dom's comment a while ago, and I never fully got to it, but I do want to mention that people are up in arms, as am I, about that 4th and 1, the quarterback keeper tush push, what the hell you want to call it,
the one where Josh Allen hit the line and they didn't give it to him.
Correct. Yeah, and they had 2 different line judges coming up with different spots, and it was just just wacky. The play before that was a pass to the tight end. I can't remember if it was Kincaid. I think it was Kincaid,
which also could have been ruled a first down. It looked like he had.
That's what I'm saying.
Down. Yeah,
he had the first down.
So they got the first down. They converted the first down twice on consecutive snaps. Both times take it away. Now, sorry guys, no good. Yeah, no good. Yeah,
twice.
Too close. It's too close. The Chiefs get the ball back.
It's just like it's unbelievable. I mean, and so it kind of leads me. I kind of want to have it take us to our Tony's top 3, because I have a question in our top 3 that involves this, Paulie. So
Okay.
what do you think?
Sure. And I
Yeah.
think we got bookmarks today too. I want to know what kind of
Yeah.
bookmarks you cooked up. But I will say this before you start.
Yeah.
Even the last offensive snap of the game for Buffalo, like I just felt like Josh Allen, he got the ball to Kincaid's hands. Like it was in his hands, dude. It's like, I don't know how he found that receiver down the field. He was
incredible play.
Heavy duress, falling backwards, flings it up, and it actually was a catchable ball. I thought that was incredible. And that to me kind of summarized Josh Allen, like the competitor. I really like that kid. I really do.
Me too.
I thought he played his
too.
ass off. He was throwing laser darts all day. Really,
dude, his touchdown pass to Hollins was a beautiful pass. I mean, right in the breadbasket.
Yeah, Hollins had a couple real big catches too. The Kincaid one was definitely catchable. So again, I don't want to take anything away from Josh Allen. I thought he competed his ass off. I really liked the kid, and I thought yesterday was his moment, Tony. I thought that was his opportunity to dethrone the Chiefs, because this is not the, let's be fair too, this is not the best Chiefs team we've seen. They're good. They're in the Super Bowl, but I think some of the teams we've seen previous to this one were better, like the Tyreek Hill teams. They were just more explosive Chief teams. But again,
they were explosive offensively. I would argue the Chiefs are there this year because of their defense, not because of their offense.
They have a real good defense this year, and credit to I got to give Kansas City credit. I can't sit here and say it's all smoke and mirrors. They do compete. They do find ways to win. Mahomes did make plays. I guess last thing, T, and then you can start your top three. The only thing I would say, Josh Allen, I felt like if there was one thing he could have done extra yesterday, it might have been just tucking it in and run. I didn't get enough of that from Josh Allen. I felt like he didn't run it enough himself. And when he does that, usually good things happen for Buffalo. So I felt like there was a little that was lacking. But aside from that, Tony, I have nothing really critical to say about Josh Allen. I thought he played his ass off.
God, there was a play, I want to say it was in that final drive. Maybe it was the second play of that final drive where he threw it incomplete down the middle.
Yeah. The intentionally overthrown ball just to stop the clock. Yeah. That was actually a really smart play.
But he had a wedge where he could have taken off, and I'm like, go.
Right.
And he didn't. I mean, I get it. He's trying to make something happen, but I remember we talked about it on Friday. I wanted like somebody to get into his brain and say, hey, if the first two looks aren't there, go. Because he sat in the pocket and got pretty comfortable a couple times where I'm like, dude, you need to get rid of the football.
That's what I'm saying. Just tuck it in and go, Josh. They can't stop you. Yeah.
Exactly. Tuck it in and go. All right. The time has come, Paulie.
Okay. I'm ready.
Time has come today.
Time.
Here we go.
Tony's top three.
Okay, that's one.
Tony's top three. That's two. Tony's top three.
There you go, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. I needed that kind of stellar production today just to straighten my head out. I'm feeling better. I really am.
Stellar production.
Yeah, stellar production, man. Let's get into it, man. Tony's top three. Listen, floor is yours. I'll give you answers, hopefully. What do you got for me?
For those new to the program, first of all, some housekeeping real quick, Paulie.
For those about to rock,
we salute you.
With the
if you have subscribed to our show on YouTube, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. If you want to pass the word on to others to subscribe, please do.
Pass the word, pass the Dutchie. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah.
Pass the word along.
Okay, here's a little trivia question, Paulie.
Yeah.
What side are you passing the Dutchie in the song?
Oh, come on. Who are you talking to, bro? What do you think? I don't know. It's on the left-hand side, dude. I know it's on the left-hand side. It's been on the left-hand side since I was in high school, and that's the way it's going to stay. On the left-hand side. I'm no righty when it comes to passing the Dutchie. I got to break left. Like Josh Allen on a quarterback sneak, dude. We sneak left, we pass the Dutchie left. That's
there you go. Good.
Yeah.
But so I was just going to say that if you please spread the word to subscribe to others on YouTube at Polymax Particles. Also, we broadcast the show on Instagram. We're at Polly's Pod on Instagram. We're on Twitter/X at Polly's Pod there. And also the audio versions of the show are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart. Just search Polymax Particles.
I'm sorry to delay the beginning of Tony's top three, but this is a very high level comment. I got to throw this guy up on the board if you could help me, Tony. It's Mike Brother Spike Fairs. Now, Brother Spike, first of all, this guy's coming at me with high level Aerosmith references. So one, Creative Tony was trying to mock me. Brother Spike, the beginning of the program, he was over here going, oh, look at him with his shirt and he's got the t-shirt. Here's what's happening today.
I'll start rocking the collar. Yeah, go. There
So
you
I got
go.
the
Nice.
Aerosmith Circa 74 Get Your Wings logo happening. Now, Brother Spike comes in.
Mhm.
Brother Spike, great lyric from One Way Street. I'm with you 1,000,000%. And yeah, man, this is the more Aerosmith fans we have in the comment line, the better off we're going to be. Mike, great having you, and
Hell
hope to
yeah.
see you again. That's great. And Brother Spike, just a great reference. Tony, sorry to interrupt the flow
No
of the top
problem.
three. Now
I'm going to show
Hey,
off
there's
my
no
sweatshirt
problem.
real quick. I'm going to
Please.
show off my sweatshirt real quick. This is Tahoe Board Company, skateboard company in Lake Tahoe, Tahoe
Yeah.
Boards.
Yeah.
So there you go. Just giving some. There we go.
Is
And
that
did
a
you notice it's
skull?
a
Is that a
skull?
skull image I see? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a skull with a skateboard.
Well, Tony, skate or die. Okay.
Well, Paulie, I'm not smart. I'm 51 years old, but I still skateboard, and I know one day it's not gonna. I'm gonna have to call you and say, Paulie, you're doing the show solo today because I fell off my board. But
see, that's where you're
until
wrong.
then,
That's where you're wrong. I'll wheel the laptop right into your hospital room. I don't care. Tubes coming out of your nose, intravenous, this and that. I don't give a damn. You're doing the show. In a body in traction with your legs being held up in the air. There's Creative Tony.
Yes, dude.
Shout out Tony
by the
Alva.
way,
Yeah.
we have a. Oh no, not Raw. Sorry, Dom. I love you too, Dom. But I wanted to show this. We have a Rags sighting.
Yeah.
We have a Rags sighting. Rags, welcome back to the show. We were worried about you, dude. We were worried.
Sorry,
about you
I'm late. You know, it's funny. Rags, I should tell you, Creative Tony was actually concerned. He was concerned for your well-being. Now we feel like the family is complete. This is probably the most delayed start to a Tony's Top 3 of all time. So
yes,
when you're ready, I'm ready. So take it away, T. Yeah.
Okay, so first question. By the way, those new to the show, Tony's Top 3. 3 questions that I come up with. 2 are sports related. 1 is a wild card. Can be anything.
All right.
So I'm just gonna call a spade, Paulie. And why hide behind anything? Why? I don't know. It's like the Bobby Knight. If I'm not here to bleep around this week. You may be, but I'm not.
But I'm not. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. You may be. Yeah.
I'm not saying the like it's fixed or rigged, but do you think that this is question number 1, by the way?
Okay.
Do you think that there is in certain games or certain situations there is a script?
Me? Do I think there's a script? No, I actually don't. I would say no.
Okay.
I don't. I know a lot of people do. I mean, God, man, as jaded as I am and as like twisted as my mind has gotten during this Mahomes era, that like the refs are interfering, the refs are actually determining the outcome of games. I don't think there's a script. I could easily be wrong, but I think that they're actually competing. It's just that the refs will make sure the Chiefs advance in one way or another. And there was a lot of evidence to that point again yesterday, even though, to be fair to the Chiefs and the refs, I actually thought the Houston Texan game was more egregious than yesterday. I thought the calls that went against Houston was so ridiculous. Hence the uproar that was being discussed all week long. So I thought the refs toned it down a little bit, although they still did help the Chiefs' cause. But I don't think there's a script, Tony. Do you?
I don't know,
okay,
man.
Dude. Speak your mind. It's all right.
When I say script, meaning like, hey, let's try to make this happen, or this would be great if we could make this happen.
Yeah.
Not guaranteeing it, but dude, Goodell right now is just in hog heaven, dude, with this 3-peat nonsense for the next 2 weeks. Like it's gonna be, I'm gonna be so sick of the word 3-peat. I already am sick of the word 3-peat. And if I'm that, well, that's gonna get to my second question. I don't want to give away my second question.
No, you're good, man.
But like, I'm not saying it's fixed. I'm not saying it's rigged, but I'm saying if it were to come out down the road, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, man. And I'm sorry, but you don't get to be a multi-billion-dollar industry without having some shadiness, without having some taking some
I'll buy that. Yeah, I'll buy that.
Some, you know,
couple of bodies at the bottom of the East River later, and I'm a millionaire. Right? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, number 2 for Tony's top 3.
Yes, Tony.
Again, we're not messing around. We're not here to bleep around. You may be, but I'm not.
No.
Who are you taking in the game, dude?
Well, okay. So a day after I wasn't really ready for this to give you my extensive scouting report after
That's
all
the
my
beauty
analysis.
of Tony's top 3. That's the beauty of it, though. You're unprepared.
You know how many late night hours I spend in the lab, right? Watching film and breaking down stuff with the grease board. I'm like, oh, did that safety move? I got to watch that again. I would say based on like my extensive studies that I like Philly in this game. How do you like that? I will never, ever, ever, ever bet alongside the Chiefs in their fit ever. I don't care. I don't care if you trot out a high school team. I'm taking the high school team. I don't care. So I'm taking the Eagles, bro. And I'm in a tough spot. I want people to be sensitive to the plight. That's plight with a P of Paulie Mack. And I'll tell you why. I kind of hate the Eagles' guts too. Now, not as passionately as a Rags or not as passionately as people on the East Coast. They got their own problems with the Eagles. I'm not that intense about it because the Niners have basically more or less been able to handle the Eagles if you look in historical terms. So they've never really had a big problem to me. Now, I know a couple of years ago that was ugly. The NFC title game, Brock Purdy got hurt. The whole thing sucked. I just kind of flushed that game down. It wasn't even a real contest. We didn't have a quarterback. Niners didn't have a freaking quarterback, man. So my point is, I don't like the Eagles. I really don't like Sirianni, but I'm gonna freaking hitch my star to their wagon. Because I ain't rooting for the blanking Chiefs. And I actually do, all the riffing and kidding aside, Tony, I think Philly can beat them. I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they have the perfect recipe. I always look at the recipe that Bill Belichick cooked up in, I think it was 2018, when he went into Arrowhead for an AFC championship with Brady. And I thought that was one of the masterpiece moments of Bill Belichick's coaching career. They ran the ball all afternoon. I know they won the game in overtime, but they kept Mahomes off the field. And Philly can do that. Philly can do that. They can move the chains just by running the ball, kill the clock, keep the Muppet on the sidelines, and just control the game with Saquon Barkley. And I hope that they do that. How about you, man? Have you? I'd like to put the same question to you now.
Sure. Also, Jalen Hurts looked better yesterday.
He looked really good.
Games. Yeah.
I was surprised how well he was moving around. Yeah.
He's got a couple weeks to kind of heal up. First of all, I have to give some love to the comments before we move on here. Is that Jason Stromby? That's great. A world-class jingle. Tony's top 3, humming that tune in the produce section.
Dude, there is something to it. I don't know what it is, but it does stay in your head. You remember when we had Murph on? If he started singing Tony's top 3, it does. It stays with you somehow. So maybe.
How about a reprise? Just a quick reprise. Just one, not all 3.
Tony's top 3. I like to say that's an example of idiot savant perfection. That's what I call that right there.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then, I got to give Rising Wolf's been on fire today.
Rising Wolf. First of all, I just love the name Rising Wolf. And here's my first question, Creative Tony. Somebody has to ask it. It might as well be me. Is Rising Wolf, the name Rising Wolf, inspired by Yngwie Malmsteen Rising Force? I'm asking the question. You heard me. Oh,
I love it, dude. I love it.
By the way,
I was not expecting me talking to Yngwie Malmsteen today.
Well, that's the beauty of polymath particles. And I'll tell you what, you ready for this? Yngwie Malmsteen, ... I've seen him. And guess what? And guess what? So has Rags. Rags was at the same gig with me. We saw Yngwie Malmsteen open for AC/DC in 1985. Rags, you were there. I was there. We both saw Yngwie Malmsteen. I had a couple too many beers that night, by the way. FYI. Yes, Tony.
For those that don't know, wouldn't you just say he's kind of a guitar virtuoso? Yeah.
Yeah, but to the point of the absurd. Like, it's not even listenable. Like, every record is like.
Does he go like 2 and 3 neck guitars or no?
No.
Will he no, he won't. Okay.
Like on each side?
Well, you've seen that guy. I'm gonna find that guy, and maybe I'll fiend him for bookmarks.
It's the most absurd thing of all time. Played too. You know who does have one of those? For real, I think is Steve Vai. The great guitar player Steve Vai. I think he's got one with 2 necks. It's the most absurd looking thing ever.
And then they're like doing like this too.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. Yeah, you're making me laugh, T.
Hey, Steve Vai, dude. His work with David Lee Roth, though, I got to give love to his work with David Lee Roth.
Smile. Yankee Rose, kid.
Smile
all day.
One of the best music videos. By the way, Van Halen might have just the best catalog of music videos.
Yeah.
With Hot for Teacher being like literally maybe the best video ever made.
Yeah, but Yankee Rose is close with the convenience store. Yeah.
I was gonna say Yankee Rose is amazing with the convenience store. Nothing my store you don't. Yeah.
Totally. Breath mint. I like it when he goes, not if you were the last immigrant grocer on earth, honey.
I mean,
and then David Lee with the full face paint. Give me a glazed donut and a bottle of anything to go.
Yeah. So back to Rising Wolf's comment. No way there's a script, but there is collusive elements by a few folks. A single ref or lineman or corner could easily dictate the outcome of a game. That's very well said. Great job. I love that. Yeah. And the comments, you guys are on fire. And dude, Steve Vai, G-Man Music, you know what's up. So Okay. I didn't get. I'm rooting for Philly as well. I would love to see Hurts and Saquon get a ring before I need to see Patrick freaking
Yep.
Mahomes and Travis Kelce get a three-peat. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
That's
Me too.
basically what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
I don't care if I need to see Big Dom trying to squeeze a ring on his big finger instead of Mahomes. Okay?
I saw Big Dom, Fat Dom, whatever his name is, after the game yesterday. I actually saw him on the field hugging Bills players. I'm like, did you just compete or something? What are you hugging guys for? You didn't do anything. Big Dom's out here. He thinks he's a player, I think, now. Hugging like Josh Allen on his way off the field. I'm like, Big Dom, get your fat ass out of the way and let the players get back into the clubhouse. Yeah.
Again, why a coach needs a bodyguard on the sideline is beyond me.
Maybe because Sirianni's such an asshole. So many guys want to punch his lights out. Maybe he actually does need one, if you really think about it. From guys like me to want to hop the wall and kick Sirianni's ass.
Did you see him? Did you see Sirianni in the Mike Quick jersey in the post game last night?
I saw it, man. I saw it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough 2 weeks. Nobody said this was going to be easy. I know.
Dude,
I know.
It's going to be a very tough 2 weeks. And by the way, you said that you go to the lab and like rewatch film and all that.
Paulie Mac Film Study Lab. Yeah.
That made me think of we got to get our main man Greg Cosell on sometime in the next 2 weeks because you know how much I love Greg Cosell, and Paulie is the only guy to get Greg Cosell talking music the same way he talks about NFL football. We got to get him on the show. Okay.
The most memorable things that Greg Cosell said to me during all the years are the rock and roll stuff. Here's a couple of the greatest hits, top of my head.
Yeah.
I asked him one day because he started talking about Jethro Tull on the air, and I'm like, yeah, Jethro Tull. And then I started going, but you're about that age, and I'm very envious of this because I go, you're old enough, like you're a little bit older than me. Did you see Led Zeppelin, Greg? And he goes, oh yeah, no, I saw Led Zeppelin. So he saw Led Zeppelin at Madison Square Garden, and he told me that the guy next to him was drinking like whiskey straight out of the bottle. And he said when Zeppelin came on, this is what the guy next to him was doing for the entirety of the Zeppelin set. He said the guy next to him was like this. Just head back in his chair, mouth hanging open. The entire Led Zeppelin set. The guy passed out and missed the whole gig. But you're right. Greg Cosell would be great to have on the show. Let's do this, T.
He's the nephew of Howard Cosell, I believe. Correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy. Greg is just a super cool guy.
By the way, I feel like you're about to move on to the show, but we have number 3 in Tony's top 3 to get to.
That's what I was going to say. I want you to finish your top 3, and then I was going to say I'd like to squeeze a couple bookmarks in before we get out of here.
You bet.
And one housekeeping item real quick while it's in my head before I forget. We have to announce that tomorrow Tony and I we got some stuff going on during the day, so we're going to be unavailable to give you the show. We're going to kick it tonight again tomorrow. So Tony, for the first time in Particle history, we're going to go back-to-back night flights this week. We'll be on Tuesday at 8, and then we'll see you again Wednesday at 8. So we're going to double dip on night flights this week. And I got to tell you, every time we do a night show, it seems like it goes really well. Like people seem to dig that. So, and then we'll be back in the daytime on Thursday. But again, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, we'll see you then. Tony, sorry to
we got Paulie Max Particles marketing to handle tomorrow. So if people want to just a little, that's basically what's going on during the day. So we said, you know what, we can make it to the night shift. We can go night moves. We can do night shift. We can do I'm blanking on the third reference we always do. Night moves,
songs. Again,
night
Cinderella.
Songs.
I don't know how many times I got to say it. Night songs. And by the way, if you're going to say we can do this, we can do that, somebody, and it's got to be me, better be shouting out Sly and the Family Stone. You can make it if you try. The more Sly Stone, the better.
Yes.
Great of Tony. Give me that final third thing in Tony's top 3.
Or you can go with this, or you can go with that. You could
get with this, or you could get with that. Who was that, by the way? Was that Diggable Planet?
I think it's De La Soul.
I don't think so.
Ooh, really challenging. Anybody in the comment line?
I'm going to challenge that, S. That's a challenge. I'm going to say that.
We had people knowing that Chris Kelly of Crisscross had passed on, so I feel like they'll know where that lyric is from.
I
want to say De La Soul.
And by the way, if you want to really build up your street cred, your bona fides, you got to refer to them, Tony, as simply De La. You're not supposed to say Soul. You want to be cool, you got to go. That's De La. Yeah,
they're top 3. I love De La Soul. I love Tribe Called Quest.
Black Sheep. That's the answer. Black Sheep. Thank you guys. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Damn, that was
You could get
rapid
with
fire.
this, or you could get with that, or you
I
could
got to
get
give
with
love
this.
to Ricardo Small, J Stamps 101, Mick Maulo, Bradley C84, all said Black Sheep like within seconds. Thank you all
boys.
very, very much.
Thank you guys very much. Yeah. Naomi too. It's coming in big time now. We're getting Black Sheep all over the place. Thank all of y'all. Yes.
Thank you. And I will go De La Soul. I love De La Soul, but don't sleep on the far side. Anyways, number 3 in Tony's top 3.
Yeah.
Number 3 in Tony's top 3.
Yeah.
Of course, you're probably emotionally charged after the outcome of that game last night. What did Paulie do after the game to decompress?
Oh, come on, man. This is like you're hardly testing me at all now.
No,
I did.
Well,
I'll telegraph my punches all day long. I mean, it's really not that hard. The mysterious case of Paulie Mack in the post game. What was he doing? What was I doing? I was reaching for some herbal delish to calm my nerves, and that's not an exaggeration. That's exactly what happened. Because I had a nice dinner yesterday, and it was kind of like the aftermath of the game. I was bummed out. I'm like, you know what? I just want to calm my nerves a little bit. Maybe spike up that appetite for some dessert. So I went right for the herbal delish, as I've been known to do. And I don't recommend it for everybody because everybody's got different sensibilities. You know how it's going to affect everybody else. But for me, it's a recipe for relaxation. So Tony, I went to the delish just to calm my nerves. How about you?
First of all, G-Man Music, thank you. We didn't feed the ducks, Paulie. I'm feeding the ducks now.
Yeah, it's unforgivable. You keep doing this. I know.
My fault, but I'm getting the ducks late. So thanks for the reminder, G-Man Music.
The hell kind of S is this, Tony? Yeah.
But okay, I kind of had a feeling that the herbal enhancements would be made. Like, did you watch something different? Did you not watch anything? Did you read something different? Did you go and meditate in the corner of your house? Did you go for a walk around the neighborhood?
No meditation, no walks, no nothing. Just these hands spinning guns, lighting said gun, puffing gun, putting gun down, and then just enjoying the rest of the night like a gentleman. It was to be honest with you, it was pretty mellow. I was like just trying to process everything. And like yourself, dude, Tony, I didn't watch the game in its entirety again, but I watched so much highlights and so much post-game stuff. And I felt so bad for Josh Allen. Did you see his post-game last night?
Yeah.
It was like he got hit in the head with a shovel. Yeah. He was just standing there shell-shocked. And he's got to be wondering, what do I have to do?
That's why everybody, like Niner fans, that's a reminder of how hard it is to get to the Super Bowl and then to get to the Super Bowl and win it. Just look at the Buffalo Bills. I mean, I was explaining to my kids yesterday the story of the Buffalo Bills and the history of the Bills, and they could not believe it.
Those poor bastards! Oh, they've been paying. They've been singing the blues for decades, dude.
Bills fans, my heart goes out to Bills fans. Like
the most suffered have they suffered more pain and indignity than any NFL fan base? You could build a strong case that they have.
Yeah, I would agree. I would totally agree. And you know how we all wanted that Detroit Bills Super Bowl?
I would have liked it. Yeah.
Look at Detroit. I mean, Detroit was cruising through the regular season, and look at
around. Yeah.
Right. And they're home.
Yeah.
Washington was riding this wave. They're home. Josh Allen and the Bills had an incredible regular season. They're home.
Sweet home. Motley Crue. Shout them out. Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So decompression. I kind of assumed as much, but I didn't know if maybe you turned on I don't know, Spinal Tap or
not a bad idea.
Dude.
In fact, you know what? It's funny that you say that. Okay, here's where I'll reveal everything. I forgot about this. So after I had my fill of highlights and I realized I could watch highlights all night. It's not going to change the outcome of that game. The freaking Chiefs won, and I hate it. I kept waiting for some kind of wait a second, there's been a mistake. Yeah. But no, it never came. So then, you know what I did, man? I'm flipping around. Now it's getting late. I'm like, shit, I got to go to bed. But, let me just get 10 minutes of something before I head in there. So I wound up getting Denzel Washington, An American Gangster.
Ooh, great!
You ever seen it? Yeah, true story, dude.
Flick.
True story about a drug lord in Harlem in the early 70s. So now I'm sucked into that. Now I'm going to Vietnam. I'm getting heroin in Vietnam, and I'm flying it back with Denzel. You know what I mean? And I kind of got sucked. I've seen it before, but I wound up watching a little bit more of American Gangster than I should have. And then I finally, what I like to say in a gentlemanly way, Tony, I retired to my sleeping quarters. and
go.
recharge the battery. Yeah. But a little
Nice.
American Gangster after my post game. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, then that wraps up Tony's top 3 because I decompressed I told the kids, I said, kids, we need to watch something different. Put me into a different zone. And so we turned on. They're big into, they love the Star Wars stuff, and so we watched The Force Awakens, which totally took me away, which was what I needed. It took me away from everything.
Force Awakens?
The Force Awakens.
All
Star
right.
Wars, The Force Awakens.
That's
And
what
by
you
the way,
do.
if you haven't seen that flick, highly recommended, by the way. It came out in 2015, not to get too down that rabbit hole, but Force Awakens, Star Wars. My kids, that's how my kids know Star Wars. And then, they know the other shows too. They know the old ones too.
You're not going to be dropping like May the 4th be with me and shit like that, are you? In a couple of months? You just might, though. You might. You might.
Hey, I got it. Okay, well, let me give some love to Alpha Acid Brewing right here in San Carlos. They have a beer called May the 4th be with you.
I'm not sure if that's something I'm going to be drinking. I want to shout out Dub City on the comments line. Dub City shouting out Black Caesar as one of those great blaxploitation films of the early 70s. It's another one I saw, Dub City, and they're rolling it right now because they do have there's a black cinema experience channel I have on my cable package. So that's all they show is black filmmakers, black actors, stuff like that. I was watching one the other night, Dub City. I recommend it. I think the same actor from Black Caesar is in it. Look for one called Hell Up in Harlem. Just thank me later. Just find Hell Up in Harlem. I'm telling you. Yeah. No, I was watching
it, man.
I was watching that a couple nights ago too. Hell Up in Harlem. All right. Anyway, now you never know, dude. Paulie Mac late night with the remote. Anything goes.
I just got to give look at what Naomi did to decompress. She watched that Latvian animated film called Flow. Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Good to know.
Hey,
I love it.
I like that too. If it worked for Naomi, it'll probably work for the rest of y'all too. And finally,
Correct.
shout out Timothy Chalamet. He was on Saturday Night Live over the weekend, and he performed all these Bob Dylan songs. I'm not going to get into that right now, Tony, but later in the week I want to talk about it because I actually thought the kid did a good job. I got to give him credit. I thought he did a good job. He was singing all his Dylan stuff. Yeah, it is good. I agree. It is good.
As we roll on with bonus minutes here on Polymax Particles, real quick, are you a Kevin Hart guy? Are you anti-pro? What's your Kevin Hart thoughts?
Well, Kevin Hart, Are
you entertained by Kevin Hart? I should say.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's fine. He's fine. I'm not.
He did a good. He did a good tackling Mahomes skit over the weekend, which I saw. So if you
did he?
Yeah. So you should check that out. It's not part of bookmarks, but you should check that out.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle had a great riff about Kevin Hart once in one of his stand-ups. He goes, my son, this is Chappelle talking. He goes, my son is a monster Kevin Hart fan, like his young son. So Chappelle's kid goes up to Dave and he goes, Dad, Kevin Hart's coming in concert. Can we go? Can we please get tickets? Please. And Chappelle's like, yeah, all right, I'll take you to go see Kevin Hart. They're friends in real life. So Chappelle takes his kid to the Kevin Hart show, and Kevin Hart comes out and he's doing stand-up, and Dave's like, I'm sitting there with my kid and I'm looking at my kid, and my kid is laughing, just laughing his ass off at everything Kevin Hart says. And he goes, after an hour of this, I looked at my son and I'm like, damn, man, I do this too. You know what I mean? And I always related to that because my kids could have cared less that I was part of the Murph and Mac show and I was on the air every day trying to make people laugh. And my kid, they didn't care. They could have cared less. I was just dad to them. But I always was like, you guys do know, I tell jokes too. Same kind of thing. So that one always resonated with me. Sorry, Tony.
By the way, Tony Romo trying to get dad jokes in the broadcast last night. I don't know if you caught that too.
I got it. Privately, don't let this get out into the general public because I don't want to upset my good friend, gentleman Jim Nance. Yeah, Romo was testing my patience yesterday, bro. He was testing my patience.
That good of a game. I thought Brady had a good game for Commanders Philly.
I thought that Romo ran out of energy in the second half. He sounded tired. He was like,
he kind of was like, I don't know. Or I don't know, Gene?
They shouldn't have done this. And he's always retroactively chastising play calls. No, the Bills, if I were the Bills, I never would have run this play. It's bro, you're killing me right now. It's
I think at one point he said, dude, what is Josh Allen doing?
Yeah, he did. And that was bumming me out. I'm like, Romo, you're bumming out my Buffalo head. All right, so bookmarks and out. So, Tony, let's unfurl the bookmarks.
Here we go.
The final
Let me
section
set
of
this
today's
up,
show.
Paulie, for you. Let me set up. We have a new open. People asked for a new bookmarks open. Okay.
I was
So
one of those people. Yeah.
yes, you said last week people were asking for bookmarks open. So that's another thing I did to decompress last night is I made a little bookmarks open. So stand by, Paulie.
It's time
Sure, go ahead, laugh if you want to.
for bookmarks,
Maybe that's how you get your kicks. You and your good time buddies.
PMP style.
I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over.
Dude, Tony, it's the first time I'm hearing that. It's the first time I'm hearing that. Everybody, compliments, man. Well done, Tony. That was great. That's how you and your good time buddies get your kicks. Dare I ask you for an encore presentation? Because it's the first time I've ever heard it. Give it to me.
Sure.
Again.
And it's just so you know, it's Bookman from Seinfeld. Is this?
Oh, yeah. No, I got it. I got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
It's time
Sure, go ahead, laugh if you want to.
for bookmarks,
Maybe that's how you get your kicks. You and your good time buddies.
PMP style.
I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over.
I got a
Later,
flash
Tony.
for you, Joy Boy.
Yeah, no, I'm a joy boy myself. Takes one to know one. I love it, Creative Tony. Thank you so much for that. And I
You're
feel like
welcome.
that has lifted the quality of the broadcast to a whole new kind of level of excellence today. So, Creative Tony, you're rolling, dude. You're on a roll. I'm going to let you take it. What are we doing in bookmarks today, buddy?
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of things, but can I be crass right out of the
You
gates?
do whatever you want. You do whatever you
Okay.
want.
All right, because I'm just going to be crass right out of the gates here.
All right, be crass.
And
Yes.
I'm going to share this because I thought it was funny. It made me giggle. And
Yes.
this is from my buddy Joseph. You know the scarf, Joseph the scarf.
I jammed with this kid one time. He's a guitar player, and he was wearing a 49er retro gold Niner jacket with this beautiful designer scarf. So now I call him Joe the Scarf just for the sake of identifying him. But yes, I do know Joe the Scarf. He's a great guy. Yes.
So it just says Super Bowl LIX, Super Bowl licks, Chiefs versus Eagles. And then Aaron Alice or whoever says this matchup can.
Oh,
see it,
wow.
Paul?
You are going crash right out of the gate. Well, I mean, read the post if people can't see it because it is tiny. The print is tiny. Go ahead and quote
This
it. Too.
matchup can licks my balls. There we go. Because that's
Well,
how I
that's-
feel about this. This is how I feel about this Super Bowl.
It's a pretty horrible hand to be dealt. I got to say. You know what other Super Bowl I felt this way about too? It's just like a highly unappealing contest on both sides of the ball. Was when the Broncos with Peyton Manning, who literally couldn't even throw a football anymore, played the Seattle Seahawks. You remember how bad that one was? Or no, that was the did they play the Panthers? I'm confusing my boring Super Bowl. I think it was Broncos Panthers. In any case, whatever Super Bowl Cam Newton played in was god awful as well. So I don't know about licking balls. That is very crass. I'm going to refrain from kind of treading into that territory myself. Tony, let's move on to the next bookmark.
Well, I just there's a lot of things that we talked about already in the game, P, that I just I've had it with this football game, right? The Chiefs and
That's
the
right,
referees
Tony.
in this football game.
Yeah.
And we talked about the should have been an interception or an incomplete pass.
I thought so.
And
ball hit the ground. I mean, nose of the ball hit the ground. Yeah.
I mean, oh, excuse me. That's what's going on, Paulie. I'm sorry. Hey, stand by real quick. Just bear with me, buddy.
I'm
Real
not going
quick.
anywhere. I'm right here, buddy. You're good. You dig,
Okay,
you
that's
extract,
right.
you do what you got to do.
Yeah, because you yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay. Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go.
Okay. All
Here we
right.
go. So this is what we're talking about. That fourth down and one, right? That
Yes.
was not called the first down. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Here is the third down. Okay. Look at where he is tackled. Look at where the ball is. Can you see that, Paul?
I saw the play. No, I know. Yeah.
I mean, that is right. That's the third down. That's before the fourth down when they said Josh Allen didn't make it over. Even Gene Steratore said the third down was the first down, and he said the fourth down was the first down. So
that was frustrating. Leave that up there for a second, because if you see, the ball is literally on the line to gain. That's it. He's got the first down right there.
And I still don't think his knees have even touched the ground yet.
And
they're on top of that Chief.
No, he's not down. Yeah, I'm with you 1,000,000% on this play. I saw the play. I thought that was a first down. Then they line up. They do it again. They have the Josh Allen tush push, or their version of it. I thought that Josh Allen converted as well. It was extremely frustrating, because a lot of times if the refs do botch a call like that, they'll make up for it on the next snap. So the correct thing, even though I thought that Buffalo converted twice on consecutive snaps, the fact that they took that first call away from him and then took the second call, I thought that was the moment where I was like, here we go. Here it's happening again. I promised myself I wasn't going to bitch and moan about the refs today, but when
I know.
no, but dude, when you show footage like that, it's hard not to get upset or at least scratch your head and say, what are we watching out here? Like what
Well,
is
Paulie,
it?
get ready to scratch your head a little more there, pal. Because
Yeah, all right.
I mean, here we go.
Possession of that. So right there,
I mean,
he doesn't get the left, and that ball hits.
That's it. Yeah, there it is.
here's the angle. This is the angle right here.
Completely
Look at this.
say no.
I mean, how is that a reception?
I don't know if you have
Well, it's not. It's really not, in my opinion. And yet again, another call.
Contact with the ground. Does the ball move enough to say that caused off?
I mean, it just is so aggravating, dude.
So the argument on the other side of that coin, Tony, is they're saying the ball never moved and his hand was on the ball the entire time. In other words, he never lost possession of the football, which is true. But I contend that the only reason he was able to maintain possession of the football is because the nose of the ball was wedged on the field. He used the field like for leverage, essentially, to keep the ball in place. So I didn't like that call either. And it gave the ball, the Chiefs got the ball right on the goal line, essentially, as a result of that call. And then Mahomes runs it in. There's another touchdown. And by the way, I'm not done yet, because after that shitty call, and then Mahomes runs it and he gets tackled. Now here comes another one of the Joy Boys. Shout out Bookman. Here comes Joy Boy Travis Kelce taunting Bill Sanders, taunting, and the ref is right there. When you see the replay, bro, he's right in front of Kelce. No problem. And what winds up happening? Buffalo gets penalized on that play. Buffalo gets a flag. So see, now I'm getting wound up. I promised myself I was going to be cool.
It's okay. We're going to move on from this after today.
Thank you, buddy.
Way, I want people to know that we have been tipping our cap to the Chiefs the entire show. So it's not like
you kind of have to. I feel like we'd be silly if we didn't. They did play a great game and they did win, and they're in the Super Bowl. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So now here we go. Now you mentioned it. Here we go.
All right, man.
Here's the delay game. Here's a delay game. I'm just going to let this.
I mean, it's right there.
Over and over. Right. There's a delay game. I mean,
and there's no regard for the rules of the game. Like, the Chiefs can do whatever they want. Why wasn't that called? Why wasn't it called? It's just
zero.
The play clock expired right there. I just saw it again. I know.
Here, I'm going to pause it for you, Paulie. Look at that. Play clock 0-0, 2:01 on the game clock.
Yeah.
Again, if they would just institute a buzzer like the NBA, this wouldn't be a problem.
I see the play clock right there. This must be U.S. history. I see the globe right there. But I see the clock right there. Freeze, boom. It didn't, nothing. Again, like the refs they don't care. They look the other way. Oh, it's Mahomes. He's such a lovable little Muppet. He can call time. He doesn't have to call time. He can do whatever he wants. Yay, Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl. It really sucks, man. And we got 2 weeks of this to kick it around and analyze it and stuff. What do you got?
So, Paulie, now we're going to get away from the actual game and a couple fun ones, then we're going to wrap it up, okay?
Okay.
Got me. So here we go. This one is a super fun one, and
you got it. Fun. Ooh,
he had a touchdown catch yesterday, so you got to give love to this guy.
Oh God!
Look at that. That is Hollins coming into the game yesterday. Did you see this, Paulie?
I did.
Is that amazing?
I saw it. In fact, shout out.
Look at it. That's how he arrived at the game yesterday.
No shoes on. By the way, it was like 10 degrees in KC. And what's with the chain around his neck? It's an actual chain. He's wearing a chain. Rod Brooks on Twitter goes, somebody's got to drug test this cat immediately. And I said, why bother? You know it's going to be dirty. That's a dirty test. Look at him right there. He looks like he should be headed to the Castro Halloween party or something. You know what I mean?
He's got a rope around his waist. I mean, he's got
a chain around his neck, and a chain, and no socks, no shoes, nothing.
Chain around his neck, and then he goes in and catches a touchdown pass in the AFC Championship.
I got a practical question. Where's his wallet and his cell phone? For real, where's he carrying his stuff? Where's his car keys? I don't know.
That's a great question, dude.
Well, it was a good tension breaker, Tony. Thank you very much for that image.
And then we have one last one, but just because I think you posted this one, just because.
What?
Okay.
Well, I know the look on your face. Something's coming here. What do you got?
Yeah, well, this is just for fun, just to wrap it up. Funny vibe. Here we go.
All right.
You remember this guy? Do you remember this guy? Did you see the tweet?
Wait.
Great.
Never has one man's presence so clearly indicated that S is about. Yeah, who is that guy? I remember. Oh, Sons of
Dude.
Johnny Lee put this up. Who is that?
No, it's not Sons of Johnny Lee. It's retro toys and cartoons.
Okay.
This guy is the guy in Lethal Weapon who is shocking Mel Gibson with the sponge.
With the
in
sponges?
water.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I'd rather not run into this guy under any circumstance at all. In fact, we could have used him on Buffalo sideline yesterday with the sponges. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then one final share. Look at that. David Lee Roth with the Beastie Boys and Sean Penn. How about that? Can you see that?
That's the 80s in a nutshell right there. David Lee's got the cocktail. The Beastie Boys are
Yep.
literally, they're little boys. Look how young they are. They're like teenagers.
Is that amazing?
Even Sean Penn. Sean Penn looks like a kid too. You know, if anything, I'm just jealous I wasn't in that photo and I wasn't at that party. That would have been a hell of a night. I guarantee you.
Dude, could you imagine what they got into after this, or during, or whatever, wherever this was? I mean,
Or what they had just gotten into before somebody took that photo. And that's right about the time too when Madonna started dating Sean Penn. And then they got married, and Sean Penn was kicking the ass of every paparazzi photographer in his way. Remember that when Sean Penn was just punching dudes out on the street because they got too close to him and Madonna? He would just start kicking guys' asses.
Yeah.
Don't mess with Sean Penn, by the way. I advise you to keep your distance. Keep your hands and feet away from Sean Penn. Creative Tony, some final words about Longbridge Pizza on the way out.
Yes. Absolutely, dude.
Head for the hills right now. So again, Longbridge Pizza, 3rd Street in San Francisco. Do stop on by at 2347 3rd Street. They're offering the laid back vibe with the serious pizza. Creative Tony, I can attest to both. I experienced the laid back vibe of a Neil Denardi, and I experienced a serious pizza. The pizza is really good. Now, a couple of quick modifications because I plan on going back Wednesday with you for lunch. One, it's chicken parm sandwich Wednesday. That's where you can find Paulie Mack. You want to come join us? Please do. I'll see you there. We'll be there for lunch on Wednesday. Stop by. We'll hang out. Number two, I'm going to make a little modification out of my pizza order. Neil, heads up. I'm announcing this early. I want to try a sausage pizza this time, Tony. I'm just talking.
Nice.
I'm just talking.
Yeah.
How about yourself? Do you have any changes on the pie you want to try this week?
So I love pesto, and I know that it goes against everybody's beliefs about pesto on a pizza, but I have a feeling that Neil makes a very good pesto. I want to see, and I know they have pesto pies. I've seen it on their menu. I've seen it on the website, longbridgepizza.com. You can order takeout and delivery, by the way, at longbridgepizza.com. But I want to try something with pesto on Wednesday. And by the way, Dubs play tomorrow night. So if you're going to the game, pre-game, post-game, great beer selection there too. We were talking beers earlier today, Alpha Acid here in San Carlos, but they have a great beer selection at Longbridge Brew for pregame, postgame, or during the game if you just want to watch the game. So, and we gotta. I would love to do like a PMP listener viewer commenter hangout party at Longbridge.
We're definitely working on that. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That's something we're talking to Neil about right now. And when we find the right circumstance, we'll announce it on the show, because and the place is really big. There's a lot of room in there to hang. They have kind of a private back room where we were hanging out the other day. So no, you're right. Tony's all over this. This would be a great opportunity for us to meet a lot of you guys who watch the show. You enjoy the show. We love seeing you guys. We're nothing without you guys. So thank you for the support. Please encourage your friends to subscribe to the show, and also visit longbridgepizza.com online before you head in there. Take a look at the menu. It's outstanding. Again, the sourdough crust, it's very crispy. The chicken parm sandwich, Tony, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to leave with one of those under my arm. You know what I mean? Like Timothy Chalamet leaving the Academy Awards. He's got the Oscars under his arm. I'm leaving Longbridge Pizza with a box of pie in one hand and a chicken parm under the other. That's just how I want to attack the day. Creative Tony, final thoughts as we wrap it up and head for the cantina. What do you got, kid?
Final thoughts: if you take the train to Dubs game, 22nd Street, get off, take Caltrain up from the Peninsula or South Bay, get off at 22nd Street and just walk 10 minutes or less to Longbridge Pizza. They will take great care of you. I needed this show today.
I did too.
I needed you. I needed the commenters. I needed everybody. I mean, that's why it's like, what does Neil say at Longbridge Pizza? The Vibe Tribe, right?
Yeah, Vibe Tribe. Come join the Vibe Tribe. Totally.
Come join the Vibe Tribe. Like, I feel like today was Vibe Tribe all the way, because I was like, come on, don't be this predictable, NFL. Don't be this predictable. And then they were. And here we are with another freaking Eagles Chiefs rematch.
I know.
Yes, Naomi said earlier she doesn't even want to watch. I don't really want to. I'm not like super pumped about this matchup. You know what I mean?
No, God, no. It's a nightmare, bro. Sirianni and Mahomes, like
Yeah.
the scales, they suck. I hate this. Yeah, it's
I
like
can't stand it. So this is going to be therapy. The next 2 weeks, by the way, are going to test my patience, your patience with all that, the freaking hashtag 3P crap. I did see one person on Instagram earlier calling him Patrick Mahomes.
Asterisk. Okay, I like that. Yeah. Hey,
Isn't
by the
that
way,
good?
final thought, food for thought. Consider this, football fans. Taylor Swift, okay, she better get herself like some kind of Pope mobile contraption with like the bulletproof glass and the protective armor and stuff like that. Because Eagle fans, dude, oh boy, she's gonna be hearing stuff she's never even dreamt. And you know this. Look what they did to Giselle when the Pats played the Eagles, dude. They gave Giselle such a hard time, and I'm not endorsing it. I'm not encouraging it. I'm not condoning it. I'm just telling you that's what's going to happen when she gets off the plane in New Orleans and she thinks she's up there for an enjoyable week of like pregame festivities. Those Eagle fans, dude, you talk about crass, you talk about no limits, no rules, anything goes. It's going to be I'm just telling you right now, it's going to be a tough week for Taylor Swift. She's in for a hell of a test of her inner makeup. Like, can she withstand the wrath of the Philadelphia Eagle fan base? I don't know.
Don't forget where this is all going down too, in New Orleans.
Yeah,
right?
man.
And I don't know. I mean, that's gonna be one hell of a party that day and that week. So it should be. We'll make the most of it. We'll have fun with everything. But it's just gonna get. I mean, I can already see it. Like, I'm already sick of 3-peat. So
it's gonna.
I'm gonna need your help, Paulie. I'm gonna need your help.
Need your help. Need your love. Shout out Cheap Trick. Shout out Creative Tony, and shout out Longbridge Pizza. Check them out at longbridgepizza.com. Hey y'all on the comments line. I'm serious. You guys make me so happy when I look over there and I see all these names of our friends. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And again, special showtime tomorrow night. We got to take another night flight. Creative Tony with some high-level marketing meetings during the day. We're going to be very busy, but we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Paulie Mac Particle Night Flight. Y'all enjoy your Monday. And again, another day of discussion tomorrow night right here on PMP. Creative Tony, thanks for everything. Y'all be cool. See you tomorrow night.
See ya.